I saw God the most was surprisingly through the bus driver, and his name was Salvio. And me and Lance and Reese had just gone walking down the street, and we were kind of looking around, and we saw like a shop, and out in front of the shop was like a coconut. And we've seen coconuts, but I've never really like drank out of a coconut before, and I got really excited and was pointing to it, and I was like, you guys just drink coconuts, like this is just something normal. And he was like, do you want one? And I like looked at my backpack and I was like, well, I don't have any money, so I can't pay for it. And he like instantly was like, I've got it. And I didn't know how much financially he had, but I'm assuming it wasn't a lot. And he bought it for like me and 5 others, even other Brazilians he bought coconuts for. And it was just awesome to see how excited he was to show us this part of his culture. And it like opened up my eyes to see how God was working through him. Even though he didn't go to that church, he still like went out of his way to do that for me, and he like was happy to see us being happy. And then the next day we went to like a shop, and he had bought me a coconut keychain and gave it to me after. And it was just awesome to see like how he remembered how happy that had made us, and how he knew that that had brought me joy. And then the keychain is something that I'll always be able to remember him by and remember the trip by, and just how like God was showing his love through that.
I enjoyed like the worship services and like hearing different languages coming together and like all singing the same song and just like all being in the same moment, even though it didn't sound like it. We were singing Reckless Love, and Josiana's little sister came up to me, and after like the bridge where it gets super like hyped up in the final chorus, she like held my hand and we sang it like together, and that was like a really important night to me.
I would say it kind of like opened up all of our eyes to like see what people in other parts of the world are going through, so that we're able to like truly be thankful for everything that we have here. And like she said, like set an example for like the younger kids that like look up to us and stuff.
We got there, and the first hour or two we were in the van, and just like looking at the streets, it was almost like we were in a movie. We like were seeing it and we were seeing it happen, but it didn't really feel like we were in it until we got to go to a home visit and get to walk, and we got to actually walk the streets.
And at the home visit, we went to this woman's house, and she was just telling us her story. And the house was very small. And it was like 4 people staying in it. And she had a stroke and lost a lot of like body functions. And the only like money that she made was picking up the trash off the side of the road, which isn't a lot at all, especially to provide for like 3 other people living in her house. And it was really cool to see how like the church and the community impacted her and helped her like see God through them. And it shows you how much just like a community and like a person can like impact others to see God too.
John Batista looked at us and he said, you guys are missionaries. You guys have the opportunity to do this. And it just hit me like, we have all the opportunity, even in our community, to be able to go out, and we can drive and go see different people we know who don't know God and who haven't found Christ yet. And we can go and share God's love. And they have a much harder time doing that than we do, yet they still are doing it. And it just really hit me on how much I've been taking that for granted, and just how we're able to give back.
God transformed me through this experience by showing me like what his love actually is, and it's not through money or materialistic things, that it's just through like being with people who love God just as much as you do.
I just say thank you so much for all the prayers and like all the donations too, because like when the kids opened the bags, they were all so excited, and the church just like helped us give that to them.
Thank you for everyone who gave money and that prayed for us, because the traveling took a long time and anything could have happened, but everything worked out, and it honestly changed my life forever.
This trip means a lot to me because I grew up in the church and I'd always heard about the Brazil trip, and I'd always seen people come back and hear about how much they'd been moved. And I would just like to thank you guys for helping me have that opportunity and for me to be able to go over there, and it completely changed my life too. So thank you guys so much.